This is Johnny Rev, a 1973 Ford F-250 camper special. It says so right there. So I bought this truck back when I was in college from a kid that was in one of my classes, and I was drooling all over old dent side Fords because I had a friend who was working on his father-in-law's that they put on a 6.4 Power Stroke chassis with a 6.4 Power Stroke in it. And I thought it was so cool. So I really wanted to build one too. But back then I was thinking like a 3208 Cat or you know, I didn't really know. I just thought it would be really cool to build one. So I found one, and the kid told me that he'd sell it to me for 600 bucks. So I bought it. And the motor in it wasn't very good. It didn't run very good. It was 2 cylinders that had, I don't know, bad compression, and it was 2-wheel drive. So it didn't make a very good farm truck back in Idaho. So I parked it. 12 years later, we decided to move down here to St. George, Utah, in Hurricane, and start building some cool trucks. So went and grabbed it from my parents' house. It had a flat tire and just been sitting there all dilapidated, and brought it down here and ripped it all apart. We went on Copart and found us a 2008 Ford F-250 regular cab with a ZF6 6-speed manual and a burned up 6.4. The engine had caught on fire because of the battery, and it was a pretty nasty mess. So we took that cab off and the bed and ripped it all down, pulled the junk motor out of it, stripped that chassis down, and we had to shorten it 4 inches in the center of the frame. And then we put that all back together and sandblasted it, powder coated it, rebuilt the axles, all the suspension, and mounted this cabin body on it. Well, we had to do a bunch of rush repair down here in the floor pans because the way it had been sitting, all the water had ran when it rained down into this corner and rusted out this floor pan. Upon looking at it originally, we thought that it was fine, but we started cleaning it up and it just went right through the rusted. So we fixed the floor pan on this side and the other side, and then we built some custom cab mounts that you can see under here. We built all these cab mounts to fit this 73 body and the bed. So then we painted the bottom of the cab, the inside of the cab, the inside of the doors, under the hood. Everything underneath we painted. The exterior we left 100% alone. It still even has the rust over the wheel wells. It's kind of cool. Some people really love it, some people really hate it. But you know, it's something we can fix later and try to blend the paint. But we never even pulled the trim off. We left it all alone. And so we put it on this chassis, and then we had a 12-valve Cummins that we'd already had sitting here. And we got thinking about it, and we had gone already so far making this truck so cool and not skipping anything that we decided that we couldn't put just a used 12-valve Cummins in there, you know? And I know 12-valve Cummins are kind of like LS swaps. Oh, everybody does that, blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what? They're cool for a reason. So we got with industrial injection and had them build us a fully built stage 1 engine. So I turned them in our core and they built this. And this has basically everything done to it you can do. It's built for 800 to 900 horsepower. It's got compound turbos, fire-ringed head, the Gorilla girdle, the upgraded valve springs. This thing's got everything it needs, the turned up pump to make this thing put out 572 horse on the dyno and 1274 torque. It's capable of more than that. It's built for more than that. The only thing we'd have to do is turn the fuel up more. And of course, this is getting fueled by a fast fuel system because they're the best. So we took the 73 core support and we customized it to fit 96 Dodge radiator and charge air cooler. That way, when you're driving it across the country or whatever you're doing, you can go to the parts store and pick up whatever part you need. So it's got a Dodge, well, the 12-valve Cummins, it came out of a Dodge, and it's got Dodge other parts in here to try to make it easy and simple to work on. As far as the chassis goes, the axles, the brakes, all that stuff, that's 2008 Ford. So everything should be right off the shelf, easy to get for parts, and that was the whole idea. We didn't want a whole bunch of custom one-off parts. So from Diesel Conversion Specialist, we got an adapter plate to hook the 12-valve Cummins motor to the ZF6 6-speed manual that came out of the 08 F-250 chassis. And put those together. It's got a 6.4 starter, I believe, in it. Yeah, it's 6.4 starter, so it cranks over faster. So now the starter's on this side. And so it all came together really good. We had to work the firewall to fit the motor and clean it up. We use Classic Auto Air for the AC, and that works fabulous. The turbos, they'll push 57 pounds of boost on the dyno, and it friggin' rips. We went with a rough country 6-inch lift. Figured they can always be upgraded later, but for now, that's what we used. We got 22-inch fuel wheels with 37-inch MT Toyo tires, and I just really like it. It looks awesome. We were trying to go for this tinted bronze color, kind of to match the engine and this color. And when they showed up, they're a little bit darker than I originally thought. A lot of people in pictures and videos think that they're black. They're not black. That's not what I wanted. But they still look cool. I really like them. Some people either really, really like them or they really hate them. But haters are going to hate, and that's just how it is. But we had to put new glass in it because that broke. We got a lot of parts from LMC. The cab lights, we went with 7 because we're truckers, farmer ranchers from Idaho, and trucks are our thing, you know, semis. And we like the 7 cab lights. I think they look cool. It's got the West Coast mirrors on it, and these are actually original to this truck, and we've never even pulled them off. They've been here the whole time. And then, let's see, it's got 5-inch exhaust. And then we put a 5th wheel B&W gooseneck hitch in the back to pull trailers. We'll pull the 40-foot PJ trailer or our Logan coach enclosed, and this thing freaking just gets after it and pulls it. But this being a 3/4 ton suspension, and those trailers being really heavy, we put the Carli airbags on here. I can't remember exactly what they're called. It's like the high lift or whatever. It's supposed to go with the like with lift kits, but we still had to build a bracket there on top of the axle to fit them. As you can see them up in there, but that really helps hold the weight. We got a BW trailer hitch back here. Went with the original rear bumper. We had the original front bumper on it as well. But the guys over at Flog, they were pretty impressed with it, and they wanted to start building some bumpers for the front of these old den sides. So they use this as the template to build a really cool bumper. So this is just the tinted clear powder coat, so that you can see all the metal working in there. And then when the sun hits this, it just looks so freaking dope. It's gorgeous, and it's set up here. You can put fog lights and stuff in it. So if you guys want a cool bumper to go on your old den side, hit Flog Industries up, Flog Bumpers, and they'll hook you up with one of these. We went to SEMA with Flog last year in 2024, and with this bumper on it, and people really love it. It looks awesome. We used these headlights. They're actually for a Jeep, but they look cool with the halos and stuff. I love them, and they shine super bright, and they work really well. So let's go over here and I'll show you the inside. We 3D printed us a nice little badge here for our Black Sheep Customs. Inside here we have 2020 King Ranch seats. We then used a 2010 Super Duty center console, and we had Cornell's Upholstery in Las Vegas, Nevada. They're the ones who do all our upholstery work, and they do a phenomenal job. So they painted the front here to match the door panels, and these are brand new door panels, and they're leather wrapped here to match the King Ranch seats, as well as the top of the center console. And then they embroidered our logos here in the headrest, and they look really cool. And we did the headliner. We also wrapped the dash pad here with leather to match the King Ranch look, and it's got all the cool stitching and stuff. Looks really good. We used Dakota Digital Gauges for the wind because they are the best for making it look classic, but give you all the, the new upgraded digital readouts. It'll show you the elevation, your boost, all your temperatures. You can scroll clear through it and it shows you everything, but still retain that classic look that you want. It is the best. It's got cruise control. We got an integrated brake controller here. It has an I Did It steering column from LMC and a steering wheel. The steering wheel is a little bit smaller than we thought, but it sure looks freaking awesome. This is a custom gear shifter with 8-ball shifter knobs that we got from a place online. Can't remember their name. It's got an old school classic radio, and it has classic auto air controls right here. Brand new carpet. It's got the pedal assembly out of the 2008 Ford Super Duty. This, believe it or not, this gas pedal is actually out of an 80s Chevy square body. We had to do quite the customizing with the boots and stuff to make these all fit. We've got a fuse panel down here because we did all new wiring in this. Used painless wiring harness for the initial part of the wiring harness, and we had to add to it here and there as we needed to. And then also we built another fuse panel because it comes with a fuse panel right here. This thing went from like 5 fuses to a lot. So we went with electric fans. And I can't remember exactly where we got them, but we went with electric fans to cool this engine, just for fitment purposes. We couldn't really put the manual fan in there. He just wasn't going to fit good. So these electric fans work really good, and you can put, we have a switch in there on the dash, and you can either put it to auto, off, or manual. So manual on, auto, or off. And then also it's got the washer fluid bottle and the coolant overflow bottle over there, and it just helps keep it looking clean and functional. And like this whole thing just works freaking awesome. The brake booster and everything is hydraulic. This is all out of the 2008. And these 5.9 Cummins, these 12 valves come down here where the power steering pump goes. It usually bolts onto the back of a vacuum pump to run the brakes in a Dodge. Well, we found a hydraulic pump online that bolts right up to that, so that we could delete that and get rid of that vacuum pump. And so then the pump just bolts right on and runs the brakes, because the brakes and the power steering are all one. Well, the power steering pump, this hydraulic pump, it runs the brake booster and the brakes, because that's how these diesels work. So in a 1973 Ford, dent side Ford, they had lap belts still for the seat belts. Well, it's 2025 now, and in 2023 when we were building this, we wanted to have shoulder belts. So what we did is we drilled a hole up here and had to build behind it to help, reinforce it. But these seat belts, I do believe, are out of a 90s Chevy pickup with the roller down in here, and they work perfect, and they're smooth and clean and work awesome. So a lot of people want to know, how big are the turbos on this thing? And I'm like, big and bigger. What does it matter? They sound cool and they push a lot of boost. But this has a 6270 and an S475. And they freaking scream. I don't care who you are, but a turbo whistle, make you smile every day, even on the worst of days. And with that, Jonny Rev is up for grabs. So if you want it, hit us up, and you can take this sweetheart home, put it in your garage, go drive it, hit the sand, hit the dirt, hit the mud, the snow, I don't care. It's yours. So you come buy it, and then we're gonna build some more badass stuff. So see you later. Still here? Why aren't you hitting me up? Email, text message, something. You need to take this home. Go do it. Hurry up. Okay, all right, fine. Like that.